Hi. It's Tina from CNC Designs. Welcome. How is everybody doing on this Saturday evening? As you come in, if you see that live button above my head, that means you have caught me live. Please stop and say hello in the comments so that I can say hello back to you. If you do not see that button, that means that you are catching me on replay. In either case, please leave a hello in the comments so that I can say hello back. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. I hope it won't be your last. Hello, Miss Mays. How are you? How's everybody doing on this Saturday? I'm just looking to try and pull us up so that I can see comments here on my computer. Give me a sec. How's the weather where you guys are? It is snowing here in New York City. It's coming down pretty good out there. Let's see. Come on, Mr. FB. I can never find it immediately. I always gotta go fishing. Okay, I think I got us. Okay, here we go. Let me just pull up comments. And here we are. So Monday night was Magnolia Mondays, but we didn't go live on Monday. So we're going live today. And today we're calling it Stencil Saturday because we're going to be working with Magnolia stencils tonight. Hello, Kay. How are you? Welcome. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, we get, it's coming down. But, you know, I mean, it's wintertime. What are we going to do? Can't complain. We really haven't had that many winters these past couple of years compared to what they used to be like when we were kids. So tonight we're going to be working with two stencils, and I'm going to show you how I layer stencils so that I can have some words pop out from one, and I'm going to be using the background of another, both Magnolia stencils. Hello, Susan. How are you? Thank you for watching. And our surface tonight is going to be one of these Dollar Tree hearts. I have base coated this surface. Hello, Miss Patterson, my friend. How are you? I have base coated this surface already with Waverly mineral chalk paint, and I've done like a little abstract on the back because I'm going to add some more text and some texture just so we can have something on the front and the back. But this blank side is going to be our front, and I see I got a little touch of paint up there, so I'm just going to touch that up before we move forward. So let me get a brush and touch that little spot up, and then we can keep rolling. Hello, Forever Pause. How are you? Thank you for joining us. I believe, are you a first-time watcher? I don't remember seeing that name before, but welcome, and I thank you. I hope it won't be your last time watching us. I hope you'll find something interesting tonight that will make you want to come back and join us on Mondays and Fridays when we go live. We are going live today because we didn't go live on this week past Monday. So I'm just touching up my surface because I had two spots that I saw that I missed when I painted this earlier. But they still have these hearts at most Dollar Tree stores. I don't know about most of them, and honestly, I only have gone to my Dollar Tree this season. I've only been once, and I did see them there. But this particular heart I had it from last year. Oh, okay. Well, welcome, Doreen. Thank you. So I'm sure they have them there. Dollar Tree usually brings them back every single year, though. So now I think we've got this surface touched up a bit. We're going to be covering most of it up, so any little imperfections really wouldn't be showing in the first place. but I just like to cover it up and get it as complete as possible. Hello, Cheryl. How are you? Thank you for joining. So again, this is our surface. This is just one of those Dollar Tree wood hearts, and I base coated it with some Waverly mineral paint, and this is really subtle gray color that I really like. It's a neutral kind of gray, and I'm going to be using just the love word from this stencil. This was our Magnolia stencil in Craft Club 2 months ago. Oh, you're going to take a trip. And so I'm going to be using the love word because I am going to mask that, and I'm going to cover it up with the all over pattern. And anytime you're masking something, you want to put the part that you want to mask, which is going to be our love word, that goes down first, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to have that word stand out from our background, which is going to be an all over pattern. And how we do that is first we put the stencil down, and then we cover it with a mask when we put our all over pattern. And what I did to create a mask is I Xeroxed the stencil, and then I just cut out the love word, because once I place it down, I'm going to sit this over top of my stenciled area so that when we lay our second stencil down, it doesn't cover up the love word. A lot of words, probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but if you follow along, you'll get the gist of what I'm saying. So this is a brand new stencil, and because it's new and I haven't used it yet, I do want to fuzz it. Some Magnolia creators will wax their surface before they use a new stencil. I guess you could say I'm a rebel crafter because I've never used the wax. And so far I've had great luck, and I hope tonight won't be any different. I don't particularly care too much for using the wax over it because I haven't been successful in getting a really good adhesion when I put the wax. So that's why I'm not going to use it. But you do you. If that works for you, you definitely use it. I'm not going to do it though. Hi, Vicky. How are you? Hello, Melissa. How are you? Thank you, Kay. Actually, it's definitely not my idea. IOD. I love IOD stamps and molds, and most of IOD's stamps come with masks nowadays. So that's where I actually got the idea from. And I have been doing it with my Magnolia stencils whenever I just wanted to use bits and pieces of it. So I'm gonna get a decent fuzz on this because it is new and because I have a painted surface, and I don't want to pull up my paint, although I wouldn't be horribly upset if I pulled up a little bit of paint, because you guys know I like texture, and I will definitely make it work. I will definitely incorporate it somehow so that it looks like that's what I meant to do, if that occurs. So I'm just putting this down, and I'm just rubbing over our love word to make sure that there's nothing under there, no little lint pieces or anything like that. And we're going to be using almond latte chalk paste tonight. Is it almond? Yes. So I'm going to take a little bit onto my stir stick, and I'm just going to cover just a little portion of that love word, because that's all we're going to be using. I really should have had a smaller squeegee. I didn't pay attention to that. This will come in handy with our next stencil, but a smaller one would have done better for us with this word. I'm just going to take my excess and put it back off into our pot. And our stencils are reusable. So as long as you take care of them, you'll be able to use this stencil many times over for many seasons. Oh, you do UK? I love them. I absolutely love them. Crystal, did I say hello to you? Their spring line is coming out in a couple of weeks, Kay. Do you know that? I can't wait. Okay, I'm going to spritz a little water down here just so that this little bit of paste can start to release itself from the stencil until I get to the sink and give it a rinse. So here's our love word right there on the bottom of the stencil. And we're going to put a little bit of a dry on it because then I'm going to lay my mask over top of it so that we can move on with our pattern for the rest of the heart. Yeah, you've been saving your coins. Me too. Me too. Because I know I'm probably going to want to buy all of them. So that's one company, them and Tim Holtz, they get me every time. They get me every time. Tim Holtz Distress Oxides, I want all the colors. I want all the sprays in the same colors. I want the watercolor pencils, you name it, I want it. So, hi Michelle, how are you? Thank you for watching. So I think we've got a nice dry on our word. So now I'm going to take the mask and I'm going to take a little bit of tape. Let's hope the tape doesn't pull any paint up either. And I'm just going to fold it over just enough to fit on that O and to fit on the L. Thank you for those hearts. I want to find another way to put the mask down other than with tape. I haven't figured that out yet. Well, this will have to do for now. Hopefully I can get this in the right place so that I can cover up my letters. So now we have masked it. So when I put the other stencil down, what's underneath the love word, it won't get that stencil on it. Yeah, me too, Kay. Same. And the second stencil we're going to be using tonight, also from Magnolia Stencil Design Co. I am a Magnolia Stencil Design rep. So if you see something that you like, drop info in the comments and I will definitely give you some more information. I will be putting the links to these stencils at the end of the live in the comments. And this is our French rose pattern, and this is a 15 by 15 stencil. So it's a pretty big stencil. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love those roses in this stencil. They are so detailed, so pretty. And we're going to use that to cover our heart. So I'm going to lift up my stencil and place the heart down. If you guys hear my door, that's my daughter. So I'm going to just place it right here onto the backing sheet. In fact, I want to switch this because this is the front. This is the part that I have to put the stencil back on, so I try not to mess that up. So I'm going to use the back of the backing sheet. And we're going to lay our stencil down onto our heart. I want to get a nice, good coverage. Hello, Kathy. How are you? Thank you for joining us. I think we've got our stencil down good. We're going to go back with the same almond latte. And we're going to put some paste down so that we can put this stencil onto our heart. you just take your paste and you spread all over where the heart is. You can see through the mesh. These are mesh screen stencils, and that's why it's important after you're done with them to wash the paste out of the screen so that it doesn't stick and glom up your screen, because if it does, then it'll make it hard to use this stencil again afterwards. But as long as you wash that paste out, and it is chalk paste, so it comes out really easy, you can use the stencil over and over again. Magnolia says definitely at least 10 to 12 uses. I can tell you that I have had stencils that I have gotten many more uses than that out of. I think this probably, as stencils go, is one of the best bangs for my buck. And although I am a Magnolia stencil design rep, I have used stencils from other companies, the other major one and other smaller ones. And although they look similar, I can honestly tell you that I don't think that anything compares to Magnolia in terms of its cleanup and its reuse. I had another company that I purchased some stencils from last year, Christmas, and I got one season out of it. I've never had that happen to me with Magnolia, never. How do you store your flexible? Oh, I have these awesome bags. I'll definitely try to show you before I get off what they look like. I live in a New York City apartment, so I don't have a lot of storage area. But I found these really nice bags, and I put my stencils in them, and they're flat enough that I can literally slide them under my couch, and that's where my stencils live. I have a bag for each season. And, you know, I store them by season or occasion, and I haven't had any challenges. And guys, this came out awesome. Our mask did stick to our stencil, so let's get that up. But that's not a problem. I think I'll be able to get that up relatively easily because it has some chalk on it. That's really cool. Could almost use that as a piece of ephemera in something. Well, let me throw it away. Y'all know me, I don't throw anything away, right? I'm already like, what can I do with that? You see me, Miss Patterson? Hey, don't throw that away. Okay, so let me just put this down, face down, into some water. I just have a little tin tray over here, and I'm gonna spritz it really well so that I can clean that paste out. So let's clean our backing, the back of our backing sheet. And then I'm gonna give you guys a really good look at this amazing stencil and how lovely it looks with the mask. You can read that love word. It's not hidden in all of those roses. It really stands out on its own. And that is what I love about masking with Magnolia stencils. And then this way you can get multiple uses out of a stencil. You can see that love word there. Even with the same color chalk paste, you can still see that love word. It's there. You're not struggling to read it. I really like the way that came out. We could have easily put another, I'm just trying to, I think I got it the wrong way. Okay. We could have easily used another color chalk paste, like a black or something like that, and it would have stood out even more. But I like monochromatic, so that's just me. You store things under your bed, Kate? Oh, so do I. So do I. Trust me, I do. So give me one second. I'm going to show you really quickly because I see a bag sitting here. So I store my stencils in bags like these. They come in 3 sizes, and I got them from Amazon. This is the one that I usually use for like 8.5 by 11 size stencils go in here. And so you can get quite a few stencils in this bag. It's really, really roomy. The zippers wear well on them. I have not had a zipper break on me. And then, so that's, I think, the medium size. Then we have this small size, and that I use for like my 5 by 7 stencils. They all go in packages like this. And then they have this big jumbo one that's almost like a art portfolio bag, and these size stencils fit in that bag. So that's what I use, and I got the set from Amazon. I've gotten quite a few sets now because I have quite a few stencils, and because, you know, the stencils lay flat, I can just slide it right under the couch, a chair, or somewhere out of sight, and pull them out when I'm ready to use them. They also come with these labels that you can put the label onto the bag, but what I do find is that the labels don't stick as well. So what I usually do is on top of my stencil pile, I'll just write on a piece of paper and stick the paper right inside there so I can see right through it that these are Christmas, or these are, you know, fall, or whatever the occasion is. Hello, Mel, how are you? Thank you for watching. So let's move this out of the way. And this is our heart. So that's our front. This is our back. We're gonna put a little bit of text on the back, even though I'm not necessarily thinking that this is probably gonna be a two-sided deal, because this is something that you could either hang on the wall or a door, but I just like to do both sides. And I figure, hey, while we're at it, we're painting anyway, so why not just paint both sides and finish it? So let's add a little bit of heat on here. And let's see what else we can do to this. Because you guys already know, I definitely like to just keep going and going when it comes to creating with these stencils. I love to push the envelope, take it to the next level. Let's see what else we can do to kick it up another notch. So I'm thinking we're probably gonna put a bow on this tonight. Definitely add maybe a wire hanger of some sort. I definitely feel like I want to edge this, because you guys already know how I feel about my edging my pieces. I just got to figure out what kind of ink or chalk I'm going to do to edge it. Yeah, the bags are really, really nice. And they weren't expensive. I think it was like maybe $25 for, I want to say, at least 15 bags. So it really, I found it to be a very good buy. And then, you know, if you scroll through and go through Amazon, you know, you'll find one company might sell it for a couple of bucks less than another one, but it's all the same product. I'll actually look in my Amazon store, and I'm sure I linked it in there, and I'll put a link in case you're interested in getting some. I really, really love these roses. Oh my God, this is just fabulous. One of the things that I have done with these, and you guys may have seen this in the past, is I have used these as chargers, where you can actually just sit your plate right on top of this heart, and, you know, do 4 of them or 5 of them, however many place settings you have at your table. And yeah, the Shein bags are actually good as well. They are pretty good. I use those. I have a lot of paint brushes in my Shein bags. But you can use this and sit your plate on it. You can you can get some linen napkins, use that same stencil, use ink the napkins, and you've got a whole entire setting all made with that one stencil. So those are a couple of great ideas, especially with Easter coming up. I know a lot of us have, excuse me, Easter dinner. Great inexpensive table setting ideas. You could do the same thing with the chargers. Excuse me, it doesn't have to be the heart. Excuse me, y'all. I had a little tickle there. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you? Thank you for joining. So I just really, really want to give you guys another look at how gorgeous those roses are. Magnolia stencils really, really are. To me, this is akin to the IOD stamps. The level of detail is just incredible. I love them. Another thing that I like to do with Magnolia stencils is I like to take my art paper canvas. This is just out of my art journal. It's watercolor paper. And I would take a stencil like that and just stencil the whole page. Those of you who may know this about me, I make planners and I love to stencil these pages, cut them and use them as dividers in my planner. They're really pretty. Again, you have the stencils, you have the page, something really easy and simple to do. And when you're flipping through your planner, especially my crafting planner, because I do have a crafting planner where I kind of try to plan out what I'm going to be making in the next coming weeks, or sketching and putting ideas down. And it's inspirational just to have those pretty papers to look at while I'm trying to come up with new and creative ideas. Oh yes, definitely in the bottom of a tray. So you're a resin user? I am so afraid of clear resin. I'm so afraid of the toxins. Again, I live in a city apartment. I don't have a lot of ventilation, so I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna stay away from that because I don't know how I can use that in my house and not run the risk of having those fumes overtake us all in my apartment. So, but I love them, and especially this season where IOD came out with the tapers. Oh my goodness, and the cloches. I was so upset because I really wanted to make me some of those clear cloches, but I just don't think I'll be able to do it in my apartment because that clear resin, it takes a longer while to set. I just don't think I'll have the means to be able to do that in my apartment, but hopefully one day I'll be able to do it, or even buy some maybe at this point from somebody else who's done it. So here we have our heart. I want to look at edging this. I have a lot of distress oxides, but I don't have a lot of them that are not in my brown families. I don't have too many colors, and definitely not a color that I think is going to be really suitable for this, but we're gonna try and see what we got. So I see 3 here, and I'm hoping that one of them is a close match. So we have Scorched Timber. That's a little dark brown. I don't think that's gonna be a good match. Let's take this art paper and see. Yeah, that's a little too dark. I don't think we're gonna use that. And this is what I try to do when I'm looking to see which one of these oxides. We might have a winner chicken dinner here, y'all. This is pumice stone. That might be a match. And let's see, this is antique linen. Let's see what it looks like. Antique linen might be the winner. So that's antique linen. Try Unicomb brand. It's very low. Okay. Yeah, I love mixed medias. You name it, from paper to paints to stamps. You'll probably see me use some of all of it all in the same project. So we're gonna try the antique linen, and let's see what kind of edging we get around our heart with it. And I think I may have to get one of my brushes to apply this. I don't see a lot coming off here, but I do see that it does make a difference. I can tell that. I am with my Tim Holtz ink stamp pads. Y'all know I don't really like to do this because I don't like that little indentation that can come into your pad when you're constantly edging this way. But I think because this is a color that I know I don't use a lot, that's why I'm doing it. But it is definitely making a difference. And I am going a little bit on top of the piece because I want to define my edge. I love to define the edges. I think that it just gives it some more depth and dimension, and it definitely makes it look a little bit more artistic. And those are just, that's just my style. So I'm going around in here. Now, it's definitely a challenge getting in between that heart, but I do want to try and hold it up so you can see what that edging does. You can see that, and it blends in really, really nice with that color. So I'm pleased with that. I am going to take my brush and just see if I can try and go in the V of the heart a little bit. I'm gonna try to see if I can pick up a little bit off the pad, off the stamp pad, and just go into the middle of my V and add some of that edging in there. I'm liking that. So I'm gonna try it on the back so you can see what I mean. But sometimes when it's a busy pattern like that, you may not be able to pick it up. And you may just say, that doesn't seem like it's doing anything to me. But I'm gonna do this just one side, and I'm gonna show you the side without the edge and let you look at the side that has been edged, and you tell me if it makes a difference. So this is the edge side. Look all around the edges of the heart. This is the side that's not edged. So that is why I like to edge my pieces. To me, you can see a drastic difference. Hello, Charlene, how are you? Yeah, I love edging my pieces. I think it gives it so much more definition, and it just really finishes it off nicely. And this one I am pressing a little bit harder just because I want that color to really pop off that gray. And this is just, you know, it's the same mineral paint, and I just took some cashew on a kind of a dry brush and a palette knife. And the palette knife is where it's all these little blotches of paint. Just literally like that is what I did. And then I took the dry brush and just scraped across it, and that's where you see those little striations of color in between. So that's all that was on the back. I think did I stop here? Okay, so I like that. So now I gotta remember that antique linen is a good match for the almond latte. Gotta write that down in my craft book. That's another reason why I use craft journals, because I write things like that down so that, you know, hopefully if I get stuck and I can't remember, I can go back to that journal, hopefully, and find the answer that I'm looking for. Let me just clean my hands here. Okay, so I think we're good with this. I just want to look at the back here again, because I did say that I was thinking about doing something else here. I have this little stamp. This is not an IOD stamp. This is a stamp that I probably got from Amazon before I started buying IOD, but I like it because it's small and it's script, And from time to time, I love to take stamps like this and just randomly, stamp in places on my pieces to give it some more texture. So we're gonna take the same antique linen, and we're going to stamp this pad. Use the stamp pad to ink this, and we're going to just try and bring in some additional texture with the text. Again, we're not looking to be able to read anything. We just want some texture. I might have to step down a little bit in terms of a darker color, but we'll see. Because I do see something slight, but it's not giving what I was looking for. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, then we can take a slightly darker color, and I think it's in our best interest to do that because it is there, but it's so faint that you could barely see it. So because of that reason, let's look at pumice stone. Is a little bit more of a gray, and I don't think that that's going to show up either because of the gray background. We have brushed corduroy, which was a little bit dark. How about gathered twigs? Let's see. That's really dark. So let's go back. Let's look at the brush corduroy. It is going to be darker, that's for sure. But it may give me more of the effect that I was hoping to achieve. So let's see. And again, like I said, this is going to be the back, you know, and it really is up to the owner how they choose to display this. Which side is going to be the prominent side. And that is definitely showing up more. I do sell my pieces. This piece will be available for someone to own if he or she so desires. I can't possibly keep everything I make. I'm running out of space. I'm gonna put this up a little bit over here. And honestly, guys, I'm not even paying attention to whether or not this text is right side up or not, because again, what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to create some more visual interest in the piece. That's all I'm interested in. I'm not interested in being able to read it or any of that. So I'm just gonna randomly, and you see I'm not even using the whole step. I'm just gonna randomly place text onto the piece just because I like the look. Now, if you really wanted it to pop out, this text to pop out, use black or use another, you know, another contrasting color, and it will certainly be able to be seen and pop out off your piece. I want the more subtle look, so that's why I'm trying to have colors that kind of match and don't really just, you know, take off on their own. This set has a little feather in there. I figured, why not? Let's try it. Let's see what the feather looks like, right? I should have cut this. Oh, I don't have my little blocks over here. Well, we're gonna try it without a block. Let's see what happens. Probably would have been better with my block because I'm getting movement. Yeah, but you can see it. You can see the feather there, right here. I like this style because you see various elements various layers here, and it just gives your eye an opportunity to just fall and rest in a lot of areas. So, you know, and it's, you know, there's no right or wrong in art. It's all about what you like. It really is. Thank you for those hearts. Thank you so much. And I just love, love, love doing things like this. I love the layers. I love the variety. I love to experiment, see what I'm going to be, what I'm going to come up with. And I like things that are different. I don't like to do what everybody else does with things. Even with my Magnolia stencils, I am definitely one of those creators that is always thinking, what else can I do with this that's different? How can I mix this in with my other products? You know, I have been known to use Magnolia stencils and IOD molds together. You know, I just love the mixing and matching of them all, and showing you how you as the customer can get much more for your money than, you know, what you would have traditionally thought. Like the first stamp that we used with the love on it, most people would have taken the whole stamp and just, you know, used the whole stamp maybe once or twice, made a sign, and then they would not really think to use it in other ways. When I saw the stamp, when it was in Craft Club, I knew that I was going to be using that love word in something else. And honestly, I did not even use it in the Craft Club. I used it for the word love in it. I loved the script. I loved the way it looked. I loved the text. So I knew I was going to be using that in that way. I will probably use the whole stencil at some point in time in a project. I just haven't done it yet. So let's put this back. And I'm a lazy crafter, so this is how I clean my stamps. I'm not that one that's gonna go to the sink with soap and a sponge, and no, it's too much. These disinfectant wipes clean stamps amazingly. So we've got that. And I'm thinking about, is there something else that I want to put on here? I like gold. I always like to use a little bit of gold in my projects. So I am going to mess around just a little with the spatula and some of this folk art metallic gold. Who's laughing at me? And I'm gonna, again, just do my little scrapey technique here. I'm gonna take my spatula and just sit it flat. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tap, because I don't want a lot of paint, but I do wanna just give it some gold splatterings here and there. See, that's too much. I don't like that. And immediately when I see it's too much, I'll take my wipe and wipe it back so that I don't have a whole, just a big blob of gold sitting there. That's not what we're going for. The other thing that you can do that I love to do with paint is I take my paint and I will, from time to time, mix some baking soda or something in it and make it a little thicker, and just, you know, tap it that way so that it really looks textured and raised onto my piece. I just love the look of this. All those little gold spots in there. This really looks good. I would definitely hang this in my house on this side now that I have those additional layers in there. So that's what I'm trying to show you and encourage you to think about doing when you're creating your pieces. And this, believe it or not, is truly one of a kind. It's yours. Definitely nobody else will have anything that looks like this. It's abstract art, and I just love it. It's very relaxing. I love the way it looks. So there we go. Now, normally, if those of you who've been watching me, you know I love splatter, so I would probably splatter this. But I'm gonna think on that, and I'm gonna leave it like this for a sec. But some splatters would look good on here as well. And again, you could splatters. You don't have to have any type of special inks or anything like that. You can just take some paint, spritz it with some water, get you a fan brush like this, tap it in there, and just splatter your paint over it. And some gold splatters would look really nice here. So when I post it, front and back pictures, if you see some splatters on there, you know that I changed my mind. Artist prerogative. And I added some splatters. So don't be surprised if you see that. But I love this. I really like this. So let's go back to our front. And I'm considering taking my palette knife and adding some of that gold scraping onto it, because again, you know, if I was gonna keep this in my house, any Magnolia designer could do this if they had these two stencils. So how do you kick it up a notch and make it yours? It's things like this that I do that I feel make my pieces stand out just a little bit and make them a little different than others that you will see. You don't have to do it if it's not your style. I understand that, but I happen to like it. I think that it definitely merits trying at least. I couldn't imagine myself doing this when I first started out, especially as a Magnolia designer. It's like, well, why would I do that to the stencil? So pretty. But, you know, as you start to create and develop your own style, you want things that look a little bit different. And this is how I find, one of the ways I can find to make my pieces a little bit different. And I don't worry about, oh, but I don't want to mess it up. There's no such thing as messing it up. Nobody knows what it was supposed to look like except you. And really, that picture was only in your head. It never was on any surface anyway. So, you know, so we can just get past that and give it up, you know, for what we thought it was supposed to look like, and go with the flow. Most times you'll be very happy with what you get. At least I have been. So now we've got some little gold specks in that piece. And I like that. I think that is also adding some more texture to the piece. You could even take your stamp and you could add some text in gold. You could use the paint, because you can stamp with gold paint. I don't have my brayer here. Otherwise, I probably would try it. Because when I use paint with a stamp, I really like to brayer it on rather than brush it on, because when you brush on the stamp, it will get all down in those crevices, and then what you'll have is like these blotches. So it's best if you're going to use a stamp with paint to use a brayer. But that's for another live. We'll try that on another live. And let's clean off our palette knife here. I told you I love to create. I don't like to clean the tools. So I use my wipes for everything right at the table, because I don't want to take a whole bunch of stuff to the kitchen sink. So let's get rid of this. Excuse me. This is my paint palette, my fancy smancy paint palette. Is just a plastic plate, and I wipe it off with my wipes that I was going to throw away anyway. And palette is ready for the next set of paint. So let's set our heart up to the side. Let's get our Bodabra out. I have a bag with some things here. I don't know if I'm going to use a bow. I don't know if I'm going to like the bow when we finish, but we'll make a bow and we'll see if we like it and if we want to use it in the piece. I'm not a big bow girl, but I do love this little apparatus for making bows because it's simple, it's quick, and the bows almost always come out absolutely gorgeous. Marcella, did I say hi to you and Rosie? Hello, hello, Moments with Celeste. Is it Celeste? How are you? Thank you for joining us. So I'm gonna just get this jute string down in the middle. That's gonna be what we're gonna tie with. I love using creepy cloth. This is the stuff they sell at Dollar Tree around Halloween, I believe it is. Yeah. And I just buy it. I never use it for Halloween. I don't decorate for Halloween, but it looks gorgeous in bows. So if you see it, get you some. And I literally just take the stuff and I cut it and I just sit it in my bows. It doesn't have to be, because you can see there's really, I mean, there's no, you know, real way to cut this stuff. But I just try to cut a piece in a line if I can and see if I can get it into my bow dabra as a part of my bow. I like it because, again, it's another piece that has texture, layer, you know, those little strings that just kind of hang out there look really, really cute in bows. So I love using it for that purpose. And like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna like this bow for this piece. We'll see. I picked out colors that I thought might be, you know, a match. They may be too bright for me. I may have to spritz them with some sort of, maybe one of my oxide spritzes or something to kind of make it all blend. And I'm just doing individual loops backwards and forwards, just once, one loop on each side, and going to another strand. We got some laces in here. So I'm using all of the neutral colors that I can find, because I think they might be best for this bow if we're going to wind up using it. Those colors might be the best colors to fit here. The other thing I like about the bow dabber is if I really, really like a bow, but let's say I put in one strand that just didn't blend in well with the rest, it's been fairly easy to remove that one strand that you don't like. So that's the other thing that I like about these bows, this bow dabber. This piece of fabric here came from one of those sari silk rugs that you can get at Five and Below. I don't know how many of you have seen those rugs that they're all bound together and they're a whole bunch of different colors. If you take those rugs apart, you get a whole bunch of fabric strips like this in all kinds of amazing colors. That rug is definitely worth the buy for $5 because you can get so many strips of fabric out of there to use in your bows. So if you ever are in Five and Below and you see one of those rugs, grab it, take it home, take it apart, and you'll be surprised at how much fabric comes out of that rug. Hello, Ramona. How are you? Thank you for watching. Deborah, did I say hello to you? If not, hello and thank you for watching. And some of my tails might be a little bit wide, but you'll see what I do to try and compensate for that in a sec, because we're almost done. I'm not even counting how many different strands I put in here. I like my bows to be voluminous in terms of, you know, the texture, and just, again, I love eye candy, and that's, you know, that's what I'm trying to create here. I love this lace, but this lace is definitely too white for me. I know that already. And I have another piece that is a little bit darker. That might work. Probably just gonna get, I'm not gonna get much out of that. So I'm probably, yeah, let me just do that. I don't think I can get any loops out of that. Almost done, guys. Found another piece here that might work. No, that's good. I don't want two laces together, so. Okay. And I have some other cute little wood hearts that we might be able to get one, because I think I have small ones that we might be able to get one in the middle of this bow if we decide to put this bow onto the piece. This piece was long enough that I did do a double. And now let's take this lace and see if we can get a small little double loops out of it. Now let's pull that up a little bit. Okay. Now here we go. Let's take this and tie it off. Now when I do my bows, I always take my bow to the table. I always put my finger in the middle before I really tie it off, because I like to define the middle of the bow. When you're working with the bow dabber, all the pieces stack on top of each other like this. So your bow is like this in the middle. So I always take mine completely off and push down in my middle to try to flatten it out, because I don't want it to look like those pieces of material are stacked up on each other. And I always use a double strand of jute because I learned the hard way that I'm stronger than I thought. And one time I had this really pretty bow all put together, and I had a single strand of jute, and I pulled really hard and pulled the whole bow apart. So I make sure that I have at least 2 strands so that hopefully that doesn't happen to me again. So here is our bow so far, and I'm just loving all that texture. I'm just loving the way it's all falling. You can see that creepy cloth. This is what I mean about that creepy cloth. It is just gorgeous. So what do you guys think so far? Anybody like this? Thank you. Thank you for those hearts. So now let's bring our piece back. And I'm thinking, yeah, that this might look absolutely stunning on this piece. I love it. Let's see if I have my glue gun on. Of course not. So let's turn our glue gun on. Let's look at this some more. And what did I just do? I just threw the bag on. Thank you for those hearts. I have a bag here of smaller hearts, and I am definitely one that's really conscious about things like putting a heart on a heart. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But I love these little hearts, and I think it just might be the ticket for the center of this bow. Now the challenge is, what are we going to color it? I'm thinking, because I'm thinking if we use some excuse me, of our almond latte, is going to blend in too much with the materials in the bowl. We could go back to our mineral, or we could use the gold. What do you guys think? I'm thinking definitely the mineral or the gold. I think almond latte is just going to make it disappear, quite honestly. Which color do you guys like? I have a gray stamp pad here. Let me just see. Let's see if I rub it on here, what do I get? Doesn't really look gray to me. It looks almost black. The gold, You know what? Let's try this. Let's try painting it on both sides. One side gold and one side gray, right? And then we'll see which one we like the best. Okay. So we've got the mineral down on one side. Let's put a little bit of heat on it, and then we'll flip it over and we'll put gold on the other side, and we will determine which one of these pieces, which side actually we like best. Let me just, okay, so this is mineral. I don't even know if you guys can see it. And let me see if I can show it to you in the bow. There's mineral. Now let's see what it looks like with a little bit of the gold. And I love this gold paint because I find that I rarely ever need like 2 and 3 coats. A lot of gold paints, you have to put like 3 coats on it in order to really see it because it's so translucent. But this Folk Art Metallic is very, very good. That's the best straight out of the bottle gold paint that I have had, and I bought several. I think this one is the best. Okay, so here is it in gold. Oh my gosh, this doesn't do any justice for you guys. You can't see it, can you? You guys see it? Okay, there we go. So now let's see. Here's gold. And here's metallic. I mean the gray. What say you? You guys still say gold? I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm liking the gray because when it's on here, it is bringing out the gray undertones underneath the roses. I love them both, but I think for this piece, the gray is going to be it. So, sorry. Let's get this glue gun. Oh my Lord. Can I stop dropping things? And let's get some glue down here. You guys laughing at me again? I really, really like this bow. And I just love to just kind of let the bow dictate where it wants to go. I find that when I try to fuss with, you know, the loops and try to place them where I want them to be is when you have the least attractive bows, as opposed to seeing where the fabric is going to naturally fall and then manipulating it into place that way. And I do have some keys, so I think I will add a small key to this piece in this bow as well. That's an afterthought. I didn't think about it beforehand, otherwise I would have brought it to the table. Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it. And I do have some wire. I have 2 different types of wire. None is exactly the color that I want. I have this green one that is really thick, and I like that I can use as a hanger, but I don't like the color. And then I have this silver that could conceivably be considered gray. So I think we're gonna run with this one because that's all I have. Where are my bad scissors? I don't want to use my good scissors to cut this. So really quickly, I want to go here because I do have those holes up top. And I want to try and give this some sort of twirl in the middle. Too tight. That middle piece is too tight. Okay, I'm just trying to give it a little bit of character here in that middle where that's going to actually be the hanging part. Oh, we're just about done, guys. Okay. This is too big, so I'm going to look for something smaller to work with. Maybe this. And what I want to do, I want to twirl this rather tight because I want to get this tight enough around that hole so that it doesn't slide back through. That's the goal with this. Okay, there we go. I really like this piece, guys. This came out really nice. Definitely better than I had in my mind. So like I said, you know, if it's not coming out the way you thought in your brain, don't make a big deal about it. Nobody knows how you thought it was supposed to come out. Only you would know. If you know, it would only be wrong to you, is what I'm essentially trying to say. Hello, Linda. Nobody else knows what you had pictured in your head. So here we go. What do you guys think? I think this really came out nice. Here's our hanger with the little curly cues on it. That's our front. Here's our back. Even the back looks stellar. I just love it. I think this really came out nice. I hope you all enjoy creating with me again tonight on Stencil Saturday, which is in place of our Magnolia Monday that we missed. I'm glad I came on and I did this. I'm glad you had an opportunity to see me use that beautiful rose stencil. If you don't have that stencil, please get it. It is definitely one that is multi-use, not only just for Valentine's Day. You can use it for Mother's Day. You can use it for all year round. Make really beautiful gifts with it. You can even use this for gift wrap, guys. You can get some craft paper like we used yesterday. Use that stencil on that craft paper, and that is an absolutely gorgeous gift wrapping that nobody else is going to have. So just another idea that you can use with Magnolia stencils and use them for. We have some pip berries over here I'm looking at. I don't know. You might see it a little different when we post a picture. But I am so happy that you decided to hop on with me tonight. And I will see you guys again on Monday night for another Magnolia project where we will be using Magnolia stencils on Magnolia Mondays. So again, I thank you for joining me. Have a blessed rest of your night. Have a blessed Sunday. Enjoy yourselves. Be good to yourselves and be good to others. And here are some hearts, as always, from my heart to yours. I thank you for joining me. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.